Good evening, friends, and welcome to Littleport Christian Spiritualists. Well, here we are, back again. Back where we were a week before. Nothing's changed and we're never a bore. I don't know why my head is full of rhymes today, but I'm sure we're going to have an uplifting service. That's one thing for sure. And before I welcome our medium for this evening, just a couple of the usual notices. Should anyone wish to receive a message on live with our medium of the week, please send me a private message and we can organize the software for you, which is very easy to use, week in, week out, which people always seem to mostly have success with, although we've had a couple of technical issues tonight, hence the couple of minute delay, but we will delay no further, my friends. Welcome to every single person who's watching live, and also a big hello to everyone who's going to watch it tomorrow, the next day, or the day after that. Maybe even weeks and months and years after that. You're very, very welcome, and we're very pleased to have you. Now, of course, no service would be the same without a medium, and tonight we've got a good dear friend joining us. So let's welcome up onto the platform. Martin, are you there, dear?
I'm here, Nick. Good evening, Nick. Good evening, everyone watching. Good evening.
Good evening. How have you been, sir?
Yeah, good. Good. I'm enjoying a bit of time off work and been all right. Yeah, I can't complain.
Excellent.
Can't complain.
Wonderful.
Learning in life, Nick. Learning in life. I think we'll put it that way.
Absolutely. And do you know what else I've noticed? Your echo's disappeared.
Good. It could have been a disaster.
As an old friend of mine used to say, God bless them and God bless us. In actual fact, speaking of that, dear friend, let's say hello, as ever, every week, to Reverend Lynn. Oh.
Hello there.
Oh. Hi, Lynn.
The echoes jumped back. Never mind.
Oh dear.
Never mind. We're used to it by now. How you are been, Lynn?
Well, I've been very busy, of course, as usual, with spiritual efforts, and the local community magazine that Kathy and I are involved with is out on the streets, and we can take a breather from that. And we've been doing different things. I've been making videos, of course, once or twice on various spiritualist subjects. And speaking of which, you know, spiritualism is a religion, and we are spiritualists, but within that understanding, we have got different groups, and there are perhaps little misunderstandings going on about what constitutes us as a religious belief system, as a religious denomination, and what pegs us with the fairground attractions. And, you know, now in the more sophisticated age, we don't have to go to fairgrounds to have our palms read and, you know, and cross people's hands with silver. We can turn on our television screens, our computer screens, and on our social media platforms, so we can watch all manner of people making all manner of pronouncements which have got absolutely nothing whatsoever to do with our religion. In fact, you wouldn't even think it was a religion, the way they carry on. And particularly more so when so many of them seem to be thinking that it's perfectly all right to say this is for entertainment purposes only, or by way of an experiment, you know, and then blithely carry on with their psychic readings or even their mediumistic readings, without giving a thought to our actual philosophy that lies behind all that, and which rests on that, which is, you know, something of a spiritual nature and seeks to enhance the life of other human beings and other animals indeed, and indeed the planet here while we're experiencing this earth life journey before we pass on to the next. And it's something that really has caused me some disquiet of late, because I've heard that people are offering courses in paranormal investigation, which sort of talks about the right and the wrong way to go about looking around haunted houses. And one of those things was suggested that, you know, one of the wrong ways to go is if you actually pick up spirits from the haunted house where you've been and take it home with you. They attach themselves, apparently. I mean, I've never heard anything more ludicrous. I remember watching some of those episodes of Most Haunted, where, bless him, Derek Ackera, who was a really good medium, you know, I'm not decrying that for a moment, but I was looking at, you know, night cameras, as we all were, and seeing things being thrown about and people screaming and, oh, you know, what was that? You know, there's such a stick that was thrown at me. And very obviously rats were running across a cellar floor, picked up by the night camera. Oh, what was that? You know, an entity. No, they weren't entities, mate. They were rats, you know, and like all the screaming and the fright. And they're even churning out books now, you know, saying, oh, you know, be frightened, be more than frightened, you know. And the fact is this, that the more the general public are bombarded with this stuff, the more frightened they're going to be, actually, to come into one of our spiritualist churches, one of our spiritualist meetings, because they're going to think that they're going to be attacked by these spirits that they're going to take home with them. And this is something that I think we have got to, all of us who are involved in our religious movement, to actually take a stand, and where you know it's going on, say something. Don't remain quiet. You know, this is all over social media. You know, we've all got Facebook accounts, we've all got that access, we can all make comments. And please, please, I would say to people, you know, it's not just me. Make a comment. If you see somebody is literally taking our way of life and almost prostituting it, please say so. You know, make a comment, say, excuse me, but this is my religion. I don't do this for entertainment. You know, this to me is life itself, and I'm not going to have you disrespecting it. You know, just say something pleasant like that. You know, that's what I would suggest, because somehow or other we've got to pull back. You know, and the Spiritualist National Union, while it says it is a religion, the religion of spiritualism, represents the religion of spiritualism, it falls over backwards in order to not appear Christian. And therefore, a lot of the people who are involved with that SNU on the lower echelons, I'm not talking about the executive committee, not talking about the district councils, I'm talking about your, you know, rank and file membership. They're going out there and they're talking about supernatural events, and we say there's nothing supernatural about what we believe in. This is a normal fact of life, that you only have to be born to live forever, and that we are all psychic beings and we all have spirit. We're all spirit in bodies, and we go to spirit when we finish with our body. You know, this is not supernatural. And to actually, you know, start putting that out under the guise of not being Christian, not being religious in that respect, you know, I think does us all a disservice. So I think that we have to walk a very fine line, because we are spiritual people. We want to retain our spirituality, but we also want to make sure that people understand that we are a religion, we are a religious denomination, that the New Christian Spiritualist Society is actually what it says it is, and we are Christian spiritualists. And you know, we only need to look in those ancient texts to see all the wonderful healing and psychic events and spiritual events that took place. We don't have to agree with everybody, do we? We don't have to agree with everything that's written in the Bible. But at the same time, you know, we need to stress the fact that we are a religious denomination. And I'll let you shut me up, because then you won't have to listen to the phone call.
Thank you. I was going to say, to quote the name of your favourite book, God Calling. To let you know.
Well, in actual fact, we can thank Kathy, I think, because she must have picked up the phone and stopped it. Not a moment too soon.
I have to admit, and you're getting a lot of agreeable comments down in the conversation.
Oh, thank you, because I can't see anything, of course. Yes. I'm just speaking my mind.
Oh, bear with me while I talk. I'll mute you so that I can cover it up in a technical way. So, you know, to be perfectly honest, and certainly this is something that we've all faced in this way of life, I know. And I was doing a bit of reading myself earlier on those rarest of occasions when I have some of my own personal peace and quiet time where I have the opportunity to do that. And I was reading about bravery and courage, and about working together with unconditional love. And it got me thinking about our way of life, and certainly the Christian spiritualist side of our way of life, where if you were to say something along the lines of the meek shall inherit the earth, people take the mick. But what they need to do is understand the truth of it, is that it's not the meek in the sense of weak. Meek is not weak. Meek is compassionate, kind, loving, understanding. It does not mean to say that you have not got the right to have courage and stand up and be counted and fight your corner in a peaceable, kind and spiritual way. And it is so frustrating that, you know, in a world where the knowledge of religious intolerance is so prevalent right now on so many levels, that we as spiritualists are allowed to be frankly taken the mick out of, and it thrown that, oh, how's it down the pier this weekend? And, you know, I know some very, very good mediums who do work on workshops and do attend services and groups that do meet on a pier. But that does not mean to say that they're sitting there with a big old turban on their head, you know, throwing chicken bones on the floor. We are a modern way of life in the sense that we are progressive, move forward, step forward. And I think to remind people that meek does not mean weak, and that we can fight our corner and stand our ground. And hopefully now the phone will have stopped ringing.
It has actually. Thank you, Reverend Nick, for, you know, reiterating it and pinpointing some of the arguments that we had. But I would just like to say that, you know, I feel very strongly that our way of life, our movement, our philosophy is a religious movement, and that if people move away from that and talk about the paranormal and investigation and experiment and talk about haunted houses and talk about ghosts all the time and less about actual spirit, if they don't differentiate between what is a ghost and what is a spirit, then we must educate them some more. And, you know, to think that these are the people who are setting themselves up to educate others in this way of, you know, paranormality and supernaturalness. And I don't see any of our religion in there at all. So it was worrying me, and I thought we do have to make a stand. And we have to say, yes, we are a religious denomination, and we are leading the way forward in that. And, you know, yes, we rely on prayer, we rely on God, and yes, we even rely on Jesus himself. and all the saints that ever were. And we know that they are supporting us because we know that they do live on in the spirit, and they are good, and there's no evil spirits going to attach themselves to poor people, misguided people who think that they've been, that they've been attached to by some spirit or other because they've been in a haunted house, a reputedly haunted house. I'd say that, like the old president of Lewisham Spiritualist Church, Bert French, used to say to me, listen to some of what they've got to say, Lynn, when they turn up with their stories about their, things going wrong in their house or whatever. Be very discerning, because a lot of them have just got very vivid imaginations. And and I'm afraid, I learned from Bert French, and, he was a mentor to me for some years. And he was a very good healer as well as being president of Lewisham. And it's true. If you think about it, it doesn't make sense. If people wander about, a haunted house and then go home and think that they've been attacked and they've got and somebody's come home with them. How on earth is that possible? If we understand that people are in the spirit world, what do they think they're doing walking home with them? Being in their house because they wanted to come home with them and left their, probably their stately home or their abbey or their church, to come and live in some hovel and cause ructions. And I just think that we need to be, to use our rational mind about this, and to use our spiritual mind, and to know that we have to get the message out that, yes, there are evil spirits, but they don't assail us. And anybody who wants to say a prayer of protection is protected. They're not going to be attacked by anything nasty because they can't get through the light. The forces of darkness cannot penetrate the light. And if you surround yourself with light, that's all you have to do. And to do that, all you have to do is send up a thought to your friends and loved ones in the world of spirit, God, if you like, and just say, please look after me while I'm here, wherever you are, and everything will be fine. So I would just like to, say that to people. And I know that we're going to hear more about this kind of thing as the year goes on. And you could say that this lockdown has had a deleterious effect on people's minds, that they now think that, if they go into a spiritualist church, that they're going to be attached to some spirit or other. Well, no, that's not going to happen. So I'm only concerned that people, get sidetracked and want to be frightened. Apparently, a Baptist minister has written a book that talks about how people love to be horrified and frightened by spooky things. I mean, where are they coming from, for goodness sake? Shelley's Frankenstein, for goodness sake. We understand all of the things underlying that, but we absolutely dispute it. And we say, no, let's put good things out into the world. We put out good into the world. We don't want to frighten anybody. So please come into our spiritualist churches. Like you see tonight, this is how we are. So please come into our churches when they're open again. Don't be frightened. You will not be attacked by evil spirits. You will only be attacked by good spirits and lots of cups of tea and cake with stale biscuits. But that's the worst you get. Horrified by a stale biscuit, yes. So I'll leave you with that thought, and I hope to see everybody filling our churches, going to our churches. Come and worship with us. Come and praise with us. Come and be thankful for your life with us. Be thankful for the lives of your loved ones, and get communication from them, like you're going to get tonight from Martin Quigley there, bless him. He's our medium for tonight. Spiritualist churches and services always have a medium. We always have that wonderful communication with loved ones in spirit. Note, loved ones, not people who are hateful, but loved ones. So please, as soon as the churches and the spiritualist meetings are open, please come along to them. If you must go on a course to learn how to, rummage around a haunted house and in safety. I heard the word safety mentioned a lot of times. You know, there's nothing unsafe about walking around a pile of old bricks. There really isn't anything unsafe about it, you know, unless the light's off, of course. And I even heard somebody saying, of course, staircases are the most frightening places of all if you're going in a staircase, because some people have been pushed when they've been on a staircase. They felt pushed, you know. I mean, for goodness sake, you know, in their wherevers. But yeah, so you know, you don't have to feel unsafe to come into a spiritualist church or a meeting. And if you are going to go tramping around haunted houses and you feel the need to take courses in how to do that safely, then so be it. But I would suggest that you take a course in something else, maybe even in psychic development, spiritual development at a spiritualist church near you. There. Or even online with a spiritualist minister. Nick.
Lynn, as ever, thank you so much. Lots of love pouring out of upliftment, and thanks for your words. Plain talking as ever, and people wishing to be attacked by Victoria sponges.
I love a Victoria sponge. I don't feel attacked by a Victoria sponge. I don't like stale biscuits are what I'm frightened of.
Just to make it clear,
in spiritualist church boxes, I tell you, when we all go back, I bet all those boxes of biscuits are stale, and they will get dished out.
To make it clear, I've been to the village hall.
Dish out those stale biscuits. They're going to say, "Oh, they won't know. They won't notice they're stale."
I've already been to the village hall and taken the box out of our cupboard, emptied it and washed it, and it's ready to be reloaded.
Wonderful. That's so good. I hope that all the spiritualist churches are taking note.
Exactly. We want crunch rather than squidge.
Yeah. Can I, on a serious note, ask you, when you're giving healing tonight, my middle daughter had a bad accident today and hurt her head very badly, and she's not feeling well. So perhaps a prayer for her, please.
On the list, of course.
Oh, thank you.
On the list.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lynn. Good to see you as ever. Thank you so much, and do stay around for the end prayer, my love. And of course, we'll probably hear a word or two from her after the service as well. Well, she certainly was on fine form, but absolutely true. Hey, Martin?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've had many experiences with the spirit world and can agree with Lynn there wholeheartedly in the majority of ways. I have had experiences with not so good, very rare, but that's another story and for another time, not this evening. But generally, 99.9% of the spirit world are all good. And
Absolutely.
for me, it's very simple. There's a few pillocks that wander the earth at this current moment, and sometimes they, need sorting out when they go the other side to make them realise, what's going on, and that's it. So it's as simple as that, really. And the supernatural, no, I don't look at it as supernatural. I look at it as very natural. It's just that
beautiful, love it.
A lot of our minds are not conditioned to be open, and as you go along your journey, hopefully, and God willing for many that are on here, your minds are open to what is real, and that the spirit world and your loved ones are never that far away.
Absolutely. Thank you, Martin. And for any ears that are too small to understand, I'm not going to explain what that word is, but it seems that Martin's caught a dose of the Lins, saying it as it is. It's, one of the most fun parts of my job sitting here, when the technology is working and I haven't got to fix anything, is sitting and watching the faces, laughing and reacting to things that are being said. But to a certain young minister watching me from the left-hand side, I'd like to say that I don't appreciate being laughed at when Lynn waits until I've got a mouthful before making me choke. Who found that highly hilarious. But there you go. That's another story for another night. Nudge, nudge. So on that note, it is time for a reading. So, Reverend Alan, are you there?
Yes, I am, Nick. Yes.
And hello, Reverend Penny, too.
Hello. May I just say what a fantastic address that was from Lynn, and so very true. Tonight's reading probably will tie in somewhere along the ground, but most of all, I personally think that these people that she was talking about would do damn well to read it and understand it. It's called A Lighthouse in the Distance. Now, please bear with me because the print is so small, I am struggling. And it's by a poet called Lisa S. Setcher. A lighthouse in the distance. I am a lighthouse in the distance, a light for all to see. I'll point you in the right direction and plan your destiny. I am a very bright beacon of hope, shining on the water in the night, echoing softly. Come to me because I am the light. I'm calling to everyone on the water, especially the ships at sea, calling to bring you light and hope throughout eternity. Come towards the light, and I'll steer you to harbour safely onto the land. When the winds and the waves are crashing down, I hear your plea, and boldly I always stand. When you only see storms and darkness furiously raging all around, remember your lighthouse in the distance, and you surely will not drown. I have a purpose on the water, and it's for all of the world to see. My light forever burning throughout precious eternity. Love, God. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you. Wonderful. And you're getting a little ripple downstairs as well from everyone watching in the green room. So thank you. So how have you both been, my darlings?
Yeah, been good.
Thank you.
Good. Now, I understand there was a bit of a socially distanced event at the weekend that I wasn't able to make because of work. How did that go?
That went absolutely fantastic.
Really lovely day.
There was quite obviously the regular crew for various reasons wasn't in attendance. We had Barry attend, which was wonderful, and Reverend Barbara Price and her family. Some friends of ours up in the village attended. It was their first ever drumming, and one of them's already going to buy a drum, so there's a success. So all in all, it went so well that I think we managed to get back into the house from the barn at round about 8:30, 8:45.
Wow. Now, just to explain to everyone watching, obviously the theme of banging our drums started on Sunday because that's what you guys were doing. You were doing the regular, or formerly regular, but hopefully soon again, rhythmic drum healing meditations, I think is the best way to describe it to the uninitiated. And it really does, it really does have an impact. I remember the first time we went, wasn't it Thetford Forest?
Yes.
It's Thetford Forest. Barbara and I were stood talking after Mum, bless her, who was suffering with her back. It took her about 10 minutes to get down to where we were actually in the middle of the field in front of the water. And we were stood talking afterwards, and we were following Mum, and we just kind of paused, and we turned around, and suddenly it was like one of those cartoons where there's a big cloud of dust and a big open space left behind, and this streak of light. And it was just so wonderful to see that compassion and that unconditional love of spirit coming together in what was a wonderful group of people giving that healing. So I'm glad it went really, really well. And thank you for coming on and giving us once again a beautiful reading.
I remember your first drum healing, and the words you said afterwards are completely unrepeatable.
Yes, and there is a court order standing to prevent you from repeating them too.
Absolutely, I was absolutely sworn to zipped mouth.
Yes, it was wonderful, and it is wonderful. The power of healing, eh, friends?
Yeah.
And just another thing, Nick, quickly, we're doing it again on Sunday, 27th of September, in the barn. So everybody is welcome that obviously lives within the vicinity, but you're very welcome.
Fabulous. So if anyone's interested, get in touch with Alan and Penny via Facebook. Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you.
God bless, my friends, and we'll see you at the end.
Okay, bye for now.
Bless them. It was wonderful. Well, Martin, it is time to have some healing. So the next thing after that will be you. So it is time to prepare. Are you ready? Are you ready for a good evening, my friend?
I'm as ready as ever, Nick.
Excellent. Well, let's have some healing. Now, before we begin, I have, as said, been given a list of names to share for healing to put in our healing book, which is right here, and but to read out before. So we've got Donna and Ruth. We've got Colleen, Luna, Sky, and Mark. We've got Lisa's mum and dad. We've got Wayne Smith and family, and Jeanette and family. So to all those who are going to sit and send out their thoughts, please consider those names whilst we give out our healing thoughts, as well as all those that we know. And without further delay, we will begin our healing with the healing prayer, which has recently been stolen by Tony Swindles and co. up in the Pastures Green Spiritualist Church. Plug there. We'll answer that one in a minute. And yes, so we will have our healing prayer and send out our thoughts during the video, and it will end with the word Amen. As we say, Great Spirit, Father, Mother God, here we bring unto you all those listed in our absent healing books, be they sick in mind, body, or spirit, that it may please thee to heal them, both those we know and those we do not know, and those who have no one to ask for them. We ask for them now. Amen. Well, friends, thank you for that. And to add into your thoughts, Richie Hunnam. And we are very grateful for all of the healing thoughts being sent out, because it truly is one of the most powerful forms of mediumship. And Jeanette Bolton has just commented, our Archbishop of the Ridings, Pastures Green should do the distant healing. So I will send you the video. Speaking of shameless plugs, I've also been reminded that Pastures Green Christian Spiritualist Church, Bridlington, the 10th of September, we have Nick Brown. I've heard of him. I don't quite know what he's like as a medium, but I'm sure we'll find out if we tune in. He might bring a healing video with him for you. So we will see how we go. But for now, back to the 3rd of September. With a very good and dear friend to our spiritualist church and our way of life, Martin Quigley. So I'm going to bring up your first recipient and give her a good lecture and introduce her, and then leave you two to it. So are you there, Reverend Sarah.
Good evening. I knew it was me when you said you were going to give me a lecture. I know
Hey,
I'm terrible.
Mum.
Hi, son. For those who don't know why we're hi, mum, hi, son, you need to see TikTok.
Yes,
I'm saying
see
no
our
more.
TikToks for further details, and definitely not one to mention on a church service. But it's so
Definitely
good
not.
to see you, Sarah. The last time I saw you, you were being ordained. How have you been?
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you. Yeah, things are coming on with the church. We're bullying. I mean, we've got volunteers everywhere helping us out. You know, electricians, plumbers, painters, tea makers. I try and make Jeanette do the tea though, because mine's like dishwater. But it stops them asking for a second cup, you see. So,
Absolutely.
but yeah, no, it's been really good. Thank you. I've had some really good response. I thank everyone at Littleport for all your support. I know they come online with us. They send me messages, you know, and they're helping us with donations. Thank you so much, everyone. Really, really means a lot to us all. It really does.
Well, you are family, and you're stuck with us, so you know you're more than welcome. You're more than welcome.
You.
So, on that note, I'm going to hightail it out of here and hand you over to our good friend and medium tonight, Martin. Mate, it's over to you, buddy.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Nick.
Hi,
Good evening,
Sarah.
Martin. Hi.
I'm sure I've seen you before.
Absolutely.
Good stuff. How can I help you this evening? Do you want me to make a link, or do you want to ask me a question, or however you want?
No, could you try and make a link for me, please?
Of course I can. Bear with me. Okay. Very, very odd what I just saw. Sarah, I don't know what it is. I know I've got a female with me now. I don't know the relationship quite yet. My first link, sometimes it takes a while to get going, as you'd appreciate. But very strange. Have you got any memories or something going on with a funny-looking sheep?
Funny-looking sheep. Oh.
Like an old toy or something to do with that, because really strange.
Right, okay. Yeah, I think I may know where you are with that.
And it's linked to a female in spirit.
Yes.
I only caught a glimpse of it and I thought, what is going on here? And it was quite an odd looking sheep. It didn't appear to be real. It appeared to be someone having a bit of a laugh. That's all I can say.
Yes.
So do you understand this sheep here?
I do.
You understand what I'm going on about? Now,
yeah.
This feels very motherly to me, very maternal as well. Does that make sense to you? Like
yes.
grandmother on it feels like a grandmother link that would be linked to this.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Is this mum's mum as well? Mum's mum. Yes. Okay. Brilliant. Yeah, it just seems a bit bandy-legged and all sorts. This is the initial. I don't know what it is, but it was just the initial thing there. And let's work on this here. Is there some sort of link to do with Scotland, or something to do with Scotland within the family, or something directly with you? Is there anything?
Do you know that always comes up as the Scotland thing, and other than my dad's name being Scottish, but we're not Scottish, and it does always come up, but I don't honestly know why.
Right, because as I shut my eyes, and I just saw the flag of Scotland, blue and the white.
Right.
So I don't know why I'm getting that for you, but that was certainly beamed into my mind there from spirit.
Okay,
so,
I'll certainly take that on board.
Okay. Right. So I'm sensing and asking grandmother to step forward more. The initial contact with this funny-looking fellow, whatever it was, it seems to be like she's trying to bring through the humour.
Definitely.
You understand the humour. There must have been this very humorous side between you and her. A lot of barrel laughs. No time for being miserable too long with your grandmother.
No.
You understand that?
No, I do.
This is what I feel from her now. And am I right in saying, apart from meeting you once or twice on the other week, am I right in saying that within your own self, I feel that there's a deep strength to your mental side. You understand that your mental awareness, you're quite resilient to anything coming your way, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely. Yeah, it does. Yeah, I get that from her.
Yeah, because I feel she's trying to give you credit for this, and I feel that you've actually strengthened it along the journey, which is what we all should do when we're learning and understanding what life's really about. But she wants to give you credit for your strength of mind, because there is times in the past, and I feel at the moment you're busy, and we all know what's going on with the church. I know you're busy, but I feel life's ticking along fairly well for you. This is what she's trying to tell me, that life's been a lot worse in the past and you've dealt with it, and at the moment you're wrapped up in everything, and it's just chaotic.
It's great.
You understand, but you're thriving with it. This is what I feel about. And I just feel that she's come in here this evening in a really, really good mood, really light-hearted woman, very loving. I can understand this with Grandma here. And she's just full of praise for how you're directing yourself at the moment.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Right, and is this right in saying that Grandmother was one of very much good morals?
Oh, yeah.
And that if you had the time spare to help someone, you should do.
Yes.
This is what I feel that she's trying to come through with to me now. And I'm right in saying that you've got a little bit more time at the moment. Although it's busy, you wouldn't have been able to do this, say, 6, 7, 8 years ago.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Like you're in a different place, and I just feel that
definitely.
And she's trying to make me aware that you've got yourself in this position, and it's all, as we know, there is no coincidences. We're all on our path, and we do what we do.
Well,
she's full of encouragement for you.
Thank you.
Right, I don't know if she meant Betty or something to do with the horses, but there's something to do. I just heard. I don't know if it's Bet or Betty or something to do with the horses. Does that make sense at all?
Not that I can think.
Let me ask him again what that was.
Yeah.
It's quite strange. I'm going to go with what I saw there. I might be going really off here, Sarah, but is there someone you know that is like a newsreader or something to do with that? Do you know any newsreaders, like anchormen or someone that's on the radio or something to do with that?
I know someone's on the TV.
Male.
Yes.
Right. Because as I shut my eyes there, where I still had that flag of Scotland there, that's definite. I don't know what that is. I can just relay it. And there was this like guy in front of the TV, like on the screen. So you know, you understand what I'm seeing. I'm seeing him there now on the TV. Going back to what I got now. I can still see him here now. Right. Why are you showing me him? And a comment, I don't know if this would be a comment that she would use, better the devil you know.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why she's saying it, but I can't understand in what context, but she's saying better the devil you know.
I understand.
You understand what she's saying?
I do, yeah.
And it's referring to a male as well. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And chocolate eclairs with the cream. You know the chocolate eclairs with the cream coming. For some reason, I've had one of them in my mind's eye as well, from her there. And it feels like she's having a bit of a jolly up. This is what it feels to me now. She's in a very, 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 feels very, very good mood to be able to come through this evening.
She'll like making you work, Martin.
Do you doodle? Who's the doodler? The one that draws and doodles?
Yeah, me.
You're the doodler. Because she's showing me like sort of like mucking around, drawing sort of like cartoony stuff. And
yeah, I used to do that quite a lot as a child. Yeah, when I was
like
at
cartoony
house,
characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she's showing me like Donald Duck and one called Asterix. If you remember Asterix.
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah.
It was Asterix that come in first, and then Donald Duck. So she's showing me someone drawing these, which must be you.
Yeah.
And she's just coming to see me. You know that there's an abundance of love between the pair of you, but she just thought she'd come in this evening, say hello,
Thank you.
and she is happy as Larry.
Oh, that's lovely.
And she's,
Thank you.
And I'll live in love with you.
Thank you very much, Martin. That's
You're
lovely.
welcome.
Thank you.
Well,
That's only the second time I've had my grandma come through.
Really?
So yeah. So I kind of all the time waiting for her, you know, since the first time. So it's lovely when she does. But she was such a strong character that I thought, oh, she'd be there all the time, you know, which I'm sure she is, because things happen, you know, around me. Not paranormal, I might add.
Yeah, I think they come in. They always come in when you need them, and you're quite.
Absolutely.
You've got a character like where she's gone back and she's telling me how you've got the mental strength.
Yeah.
You know.
Thank you.
Around
Thank
when
you
you
ever
need
so
it.
much. Means a lot,
You're welcome.
Martin. Thank you.
You're welcome. God bless.
Thank you, Nick.
Well done.
And
mate.
thanks again, everybody at Littleport. And we will see you one day, I promise.
You will. And
We
in
will.
actual fact, I have had a couple of comments and questions regarding your service on Wednesday.
Oh.
Would you like to tell our viewers exactly how to find you?
How to find us? On
Yeah.
Facebook. We're on Facebook. We're under Pastures Green Christian Spiritualist Church. Our emblem is, as my little grandson said the other day, an angel, of course. So our emblem is an angel on a blue background. You can also, if you find me, Sarah Lee Beavers, you can connect with us through there, and I will guide you along to connect with us at Pastures Green. You're all very welcome. We'd love to see you. Hopefully,
and I've got a sneaking suspicion that we might be sharing links as well. We quite often do, after all.
Oh yes.
So there will be a link on our page and on my page for Wednesday.
Yeah,
night.
we do. Yeah,
so,
yeah, of course.
So I will see you on Wednesday.
I look forward to it, Nick. I've got lots to ask you.
Oh, bless you. I'm sure I'll do my best for you. Well, for now, stay on the line if you wish to join us for the closing prayer. If not, I know that bakers need their sleep, so the peace and quiet can descend upon the house. But until then, I'll see you soon. God bless. Darling.
God bless everyone. God bless.
Oh, wrong way. There we go. So, well done, mate. Well done. Now, the thing that normally happens is that we normally have 3 messages. The third person is unfortunately not able to make it, and I was worried that we'd be cutting things short, but actually we are now on time to have our final reading, believe it or not. So she knows who she is, and a certain young lady knows that it is now time to do her spiritual service for our church, tradition as ever. And so Hannah, are you there? Oh, volume, dear. Volume, you're on mute. Oh. Oh, we're frozen. We've frozen. Oh, dear. We'll give them a minute to clear the button because actually, Sam is our last reading of the evening as well. Well, let's keep talking for a moment, shall we, Martin?
Yeah.
Well, we get the connection back on. Yeah, obviously, many people don't realise that. Oh, yes, they're reconnecting. They'll be back in a second. Many people don't realise that the New Christian Spiritualist Society, which is in actual fact a force to be reckoned with of its own right, has connections all over the place. East Riding in particular being one of them, up in Bridlington with Sarah and Jeanette, who is obviously our Archbishop of the whole East Riding, West Riding, North Riding, and South Riding. I don't think there's 4 ridings, but that's why I always say the ridings. But we are watched and joined every week by our pastor in Israel, and many other ministers along the south and east coast. So that gap filling, plus an information burst, is brought to you today by waiting for, guess who's back? Turn your volume up, dears.
Sorry.
Here we go. There we go. Let's get it right this time. Bully's special prize. How are you, Hannah? Good, good, good. Thank you, and well done for getting back so quickly as well.
Yeah, we lost the connection. Yeah,
I'm sure it was you fixed it and not Sam. Hey.
of course. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Hannah. Always appreciated as ever. And so now I'm going to get out of the way, and you can do the honours, and rather than me press a button, turn the camera to our final reading of the night, which is Sam. Hello, darling.
Hello.
Hello.
Good evening, ladies. Good evening.
Now you can hear each other. I'll leave you alone.
All right, guys, you all right?
Yeah, we're good. Thank you. Yeah, we're good. How are you?
Oh, I'm all good. I'm all good. I'm really good. How can I help you guys tonight? Who am I reading for? Both of you? One of you?
Well, I would like a reading if you could.
Yes, Samantha. No worries.
No doubt they'll probably pop in for Hannah, I should think.
No worries. Let's see where we're going to go. I'm aware when I first saw you, Samantha, of a gentleman that's here for you.
Okay. Thank you.
Now, I'm not sure if you know let's go with that. It feels fatherly for a start, the gentleman that's here now. So am I right in saying father is in the spirit world?
No.
He's here. Okay, let's bear with me. Let's see. Do you know any butchers? A gentleman that was a butcher? Or am I totally going crazy here on my own little thing?
It doesn't spring to mind, but
Okay.
I don't know.
Really weird.
I don't know.
Let's play with this. I know I've got a gentleman here, and it's something to do with either the name butcher, being a butcher. Really weird. Come on, let's see what we're doing.
I don't know. I don't know. No.
Right. I just feel somehow this is connected on father's side, and I don't know where we're going. Bear with me, ladies, but we'll try and work with it. It seems a very strange link. Do you know a Terry in the spirit world? Terry or a Terry? That makes sense. Or we are completely off. Doesn't make sense to you. Right,
Yeah.
who is it? Who is this?
Is it with Hannah?
I don't know.
No, bear with us. What are we doing? So I'm feeling, I don't know why I'm getting drawn across more Norfolk way as well. For whoever this is and whoever's trying to come in. So it doesn't feel, I know you are Littleport way, but it feels a little bit more easterly as well here. Whether he's a gate crasher or whatever he is. What's going on here? Very strange. And then as I shut my eyes, I saw an elderly lady, grey hair, who'd lost a bit of weight towards the end as well.
Right.
Look, would you understand that I'm waiting to see why he's here, but a lady in the spirit world connected you, Samantha, made old bones. I'd imagine she, by the look of her here now, I feel like she's definitely in her late 70s, 80s before passing, and her hair was extremely grey, and I know that she went fairly frail towards the end, if that makes any sense. I don't often do, but does that make any sense with this?
Yeah.
What have you two been putting on pink wigs of late?
I've been looking at purple ones.
It feels that pinky purpley wigs. Would you understand why I'm seeing that in my mind's eye?
Yeah, we've been looking at them. Yeah.
Right. And it feels quite straight, the wig as well. It feels quite a long, straight wig. I don't know. That's yeah. Is this like for a fancy dress? Like a fancy dress thing or something to do with that, Samantha, is it?
No, it's just to be something different in lockdown.
Yeah.
Hang on. Cupcakes. You know, little cupcakes.
Yeah.
This lady here. Would you understand this lady connected to cupcakes? Something to do with showing me like cupcakes. You know, you'd make them with the icing on.
Well, if it's me now, she used to bake a lot. If it is
Right.
me now.
And the normal sponge cupcakes with the like lemon icing or whatever you put on top. That's what it feels like there. For some reason, she's shown me a roundabout, Samantha, as well.
Is that because I'm going around in circles?
Stay with me. Oh, what is that? Right, okay. In your house, are there repairs to the house that you are needing to be done? Does that make sense?
Yeah, we do need some things doing. Yeah.
And it feels almost like some brickwork or something coming loose or something to do with that sort of idea, but something to do with repairs as I shut my eyes.
Not sure about the brickwork, but we are starting to go around the house, sort of renovating it again.
And I think that's the reference for the roundabout. It's a bit like it's like no sooner have you done one thing than there's another thing coming up. Does that make sense to you within that?
Yeah.
Trying to make progress to get it all done. I've had a weird week with mediumship, I've got to say this week. I had a private reading a couple of days ago. It's been lovely of late, and I had a private reading a couple of days ago. Started off wonderful, and it's like, let's work it.
Martin, we always make you struggle, sorry.
No, no, bear with me. I like to always work with the spirit and see what's going on. You haven't been talking about Christmas already, have you, Hannah?
Yeah.
Because for some reason, as I shut my eyes, I saw like already a Christmas tree. There were lights flashing, and I was directed to Hannah. So there must be some sort of talk going on about Christmas, and Hannah's brought this to the forefront. That's what it feels like.
And normally, as soon as Hannah's birthday is out the way, she starts planning Christmas.
Yeah. Okay. I feel this here now. And Hannah, have you got? I mean, it's very for girls anyway, but for some reason, like we said earlier, it's a purpley pink flashing colour. Purpley pink flashing colour for you. That makes sense whatsoever.
Yeah, we do like
purpley. Purple is it wasn't a direct dark purple. It was more like a purpley pink that was flashing away there. Stay with me. Let's see where we're going. Is there a Luke? Luke. I think I'm hearing things tonight. Shooting in my head. It's probably for someone else in the room here. Yeah, I feel my satellite's a little bit off. And you know the sherry, Harvey's Bristol Cream, Samantha?
Yeah.
Harvey's Bristol Cream. The blue bottle of Harvey's Bristol Cream has just been flashed up in front of me as well. So I don't know if there's any significance to grandmother or not, but that has been flashed up in front of me.
It's probably like the sherry.
Common to my mother. Oh, it's a struggle this evening, I've got to say. And I don't know why I'm getting the number 3 for you as well. So I don't know if there's a significance to the number 3 for you, Samantha, or not, but the number 3 draws to mind. Would you understand the March connection as well?
We used to live in a number 3. Used to.
Right, you used to live on number 3. I think and March as well, a March connection as well. Feels very weak to me tonight. It really does on this link.
Was it for someone before us?
I don't know. Normally, I'd like to be bang on. I don't like to be wandering off like this, but sometimes mediumship can be a bit strange.
Sorry, Martin.
No. I like to. I have really good nights, and I have some ones where I'm not as clear on some links. Definitely the guy at the beginning. I don't know why he's here. So you wouldn't understand the guy in the spirit world, Samantha. Guy in the spirit world connected to like the Royal Air Force, the Navy, in uniform. No, it must be a no because it's taking too long to realise. So perhaps I'm totally off.
Army, but not the Royal Air Force.
Really weird. And something to do with the 4th of the month as well. Would you understand the 4th of the month? I'm being drawn to November for some reason as well, Samantha. I really don't know. That's not been one of my classic links tonight, I've got to say.
If I could just interject a second, purely and simply because being not just a medium, but someone who talks to these people on a regular basis, sometimes Spirit are very keen to help us out with our current situation and give us some hope and upliftment. And although we do not tell the future, Spirit have the ability to see a little bit further along the horizon than we are. If you imagine standing at the bottom of a tree and look out to the horizon, we can only see so far. Because Spirit are at the top of the tree, their horizon is that much further. So sometimes they have an idea of how things are going a little bit better than we do. And if you apply the conversation we had today, Sam, I feel very strongly that the dates and the places and the names that are being given out tonight are in reference to what we were talking about earlier, Sam.
Oh, okay, right.
Because I know very much that certainly the young lady that was coming through with Martin, I know exactly who, and I'm sure you've got a pretty good idea who that was. And she would very much be keen on giving you that guidance and upliftment that you need right now. So sometimes it's not about memory links of the past, but giving us a little bit to, and I know Martin, being Martin, doesn't like people taking things away with them. But when the world of spirit are trying to help out for something for the future, it cannot be verified until what they have seen is occurring from their perspective has actually come to occur from ours. So please don't feel like it's a tough night, Martin. It's tough because you like everything verified.
I like to be very evidential, Nick, as you know, and it's quite strange because I had, and any budding mediums out there, this is my 5th year. I had a flash on Facebook where it was my first DEM 5 years ago, and any budding mediums out there that sit in circle, let this be a lesson to you. I'm probably one of the most honest mediums that you'll ever meet. I've had some wonderful evenings on Zoom. I've done a couple in the flesh churches of late, and one-to-ones, and they've all gone fairly swimmingly, okay, or really good. And then I've done a private reading 2 days ago, and I turned up at this lady's house not too far from here, and everything was good, feeling good, and started off, and I said to her, right, I've got your husband here, and I've got your mother here, and I went bomb, 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 and I said to her, something to do with auctions. I know you and your husband were involved in auctions, and it's something to do with like housing and blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden, she went, yes, 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 brilliant. And I hit a brick wall. And it all went wrong. And I'm like, where are you? Where are you? And that's part of mediumship. And I've learned from being at the likes of Littleport in the past that we have some really good nights with mediumship and some other nights
where we learn from our experiences. And
of course.
And I think that you can take away from this information that you've given to Sam, that I know in a few weeks' time she'll be able to verify it all, purely because I have faith in spirit and your guides and helpers and your work, and also because I'm fortunate to be in a perspective that I was having this conversation with Sam earlier, that you should go a little bit easier on yourself and your friends in the world of spirit, and that sometimes you 100%. Don't get to know everything, but what is given with love and with truth and from spirit, and it's not always for everyone to know. And so therefore that compassion and that truth that you have given tonight from the world of spirit to Sam will be of comfort to both of them when it is needed. And I think that should be a lesson to all mediums too, to go easy on yourself and just give what you got, and don't worry about whether it makes sense on the day.
100%, Nick, totally.
Because spirit are supreme, and they are the only super in the natural world, if you'll pardon my spin on a previous conversation. So really well done, and thank you for that, my friend. So
thank you, Martin.
God bless you.
I will confirm. Hopefully I'll be able to let you know.
Well, you're in touch, aren't you? I'm sure you've got friends each other.
We are.
Communicate, so you can let him and you can let me know as well. And also I will just say the name Luke will make more sense in a couple of days' time.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, as you knew where that was going. So thank you very much for coming on, and take the love of spirit that Martin's shared with you tonight, and know that you are being looked after, and that they've got eyes to the future, even if you've got eyes on the ground.
Thank you.
God bless you, darling. See you in a bit.
See you later, girls.
Bye.
Good night.
Well, dear boy, you know, they do make us work from time to time, and I think that we always tend to forget that, as I said, we need to understand that we don't always understand. And I'm sure a young lady will have something to say about that too. But thank you for a wonderful evening, mate. And you know, the love is flowing out to you, and the point that I would like to make before I hand over to Lynn, just in case she makes it for me, because this is something that I've heard from her in the past, is that I would rather an honest medium who says this is all I've got than someone who makes up a load of psychic baloney that
I'll never tell a story.
And this is why you are one of us. And this is why you are one of us, mate. So worry ye not, you will get ye answer. And so, as I've probably stolen her punchy one-liner, Reverend Lynn, where are you?
I'm still here, just about.
Bless you.
Hi. Well done, Martin, and thank you, Reverend Nick, for explaining so well. Yes, the fact is that the reality is that if you give one good piece of evidence of survival, if you give one solid piece of evidence that there is somebody in spirit who is communicating with the recipient down here to their satisfaction, they're identified to their satisfaction, that is amazing. It's enough, really. And the ultimate, I've always said, is 3 pieces of solid evidence of survival. So 3 things that the recipient can accept, can say, oh, yes, I understand that, like the sherry, like a couple of other things that you'd said. It is so amazing. People get very blasé and think that they should have huge conversations with those who have passed over. They should know everything, including their shoe size, their telephone numbers, and everything else. No, just to let people know that they are there, that their love is there with them still, that they can communicate with them. Just that one piece of survival evidence is really all that's needed. And I think we get bogged down, Martin, in this idea that we should go on and on and on and on, piling on all the what often is padding, isn't it? Or psychic stuff, picking up psychic emanations from the recipient. That's often done, and it is done in kindness, we know. But really and truly, I think that people are now expecting so much. But if you really think about it, one good solid piece of evidence, like that sherry bottle, yes, whoever it was liked a sherry, that is flaming marvelous. Don't let us put ourselves down. We are mediums, and we serve the truth, and that means that we communicate with those who have gone before. And if we can do that, that is wonderful. And all that work that you do to develop your abilities and so on. We have to come through that psychic ability in order to reach out and raise our conscious awareness to those higher frequencies where we do get input from spirit, from that world of spirit. But meanwhile, we have all these other psychic things going on, which are just as lovely and are to do with everything that we do. And I used to say to my students, if you're standing on a platform, and we've all done that, and there's a whole sea of faces in front of you, which of course you can't see tonight, but there are nevertheless, and you've got to give a message out to somebody, and you can't think of anything. I've always said to them, go to somebody that you feel drawn to, go to someone who looks miserable. Start off with a psychic reading. Read their aura. We can all do that if we've developed properly. Read their aura, see the colours around them, and lo and behold, you're going to get a link. That's what all these tarot readers and everybody do. They do that, and then they suddenly get a link through, and that's it, they're away. So why not, say that that's okay as well? But certainly to sit there, as you did, Martin, completely, on your own there, in your own place, no energies building up that you hear about so much of from some mediums. The energies are building, or the energies are not good, or the energies are dissipating now. No. If you can either get a link with spirit or you can't, and you obviously can. So don't worry about it.
No, I don't. And for me, I think it's a valuable lesson, like I said, to anyone that's sitting circle or planning to do whatever else. I mean, I've been, I suppose, 9 years now, 5 years with the public, and I accept it now that I can be nice and swimmerly some nights, and quite often, for lately, I've had a really good run. And just the private reading the other day and tonight, it's a bit like, oh. And that is mediumship to the point where that's learning. It's learning for me, because if it went swimmingly every single time, I wouldn't be learning a lot. No, I
Still
accept it.
beating himself up about it, though.
I'm not sure I agree with
No, I
I'm
accept
not
it.
sure I agree with your argument now, young man.
Well,
But I still say that if you get one good piece of evidence of survival, that is really wonderful, and it's sufficient, really. 3 is a bonus, but really you did very well, Martin. And don't keep talking about having bad days, and it's not to do with whether your perm is a good one or not, or whether you've had a good shave or not, is it?
Yeah.
It's about talking to the flaming dead, mate. These are people.
if it was easy, everyone would be doing it.
Burned or buried, and where are they? We can
Some
tell them
nights-
where they are, and that
Some
is
nights are
fantastic.
very easy. Some nights are very easy. It just flows. As we say, mediumship.
And on that note, my friends, I'm calling this service to order.
Nobody has said that mediumship is easy.
Oh no, no.
If it was easy, my friends, everyone would be doing it. Now,
Definitely.
that's for the
But
future.
they are, Reverend Nick. Don't forget, they are all doing it.
But not
And on
always
that
with the lights on.
note, but no, I thought you did very well, Martin. It's fine. It's fine.
And I'll be honest with
I'll
you.
be back. I'll be back as usual. I love serving Littleport.
You're
And
always
hopefully,
mate.
hopefully in the flesh.
Yes, well, we've got a couple of weeks, and we may well be there. So, yes, Karen, I certainly do. This is a little bit of sympathy for the chair for a change. You need an auction hammer, Nick. Yes, I certainly do. But yes, it's always a pleasure and never a chore. I love this way of life. I love working with mediums. I love being reminded of my development, and that's what I was actually going to say, Martin. Lynn was describing about how she used to educate. Some of us described it as lecture, but educate her students. Speaking as one of those who've sat in that very, very room, and others of a similar shape and size, but with the same decoration. She does not give out praise often or with ease, only when it is required and justified. So you're doing all right, mate, on that note. So thank you coming back up, Lynn. Good to see you as ever. And I think now we should actually bring everyone that's still here back up and say a big thank you to our medium for this evening, Martin Quigley.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
And on that note, let us all join together in prayer as we say, Great Spirit, Father, Mother God, we thank you for the opportunity to come together as friends, to unite under your banner of love and hope and friendship, and prove that life is indeed eternal. And so until we meet again, Great Spirit, I ask for a blessing to be placed on all those here present, all of those around the world watching at home, and all of those who will watch, so that your love and light might spread like a web of truth and kindness across this very earth that we walk. And so until we meet again, we say that everything we do will be in the name of love, in the name of truth, and in the name of light. Amen. So it serves me only to say a big thank you to Martin Quigley, our medium for the evening. A big thank you to Reverend Lynn for coming on. To Hannah, thank you for doing your usual ritual. And for Sam for organising the technology and getting that rebooted. And also a big thank you to Reverend Victor Meldrew down the corner for his wonderful reading. And also thank you to every one of you, each and every one of you who tune in, week out to support this venture that is our online spiritualist service. We will be back in the flesh very, very soon, but we will always be in the ether of the internet, no matter where I broadcast from, be it my room upstairs in my home or a big old hall in the village. We will be here for you all, each, every one of you, every week. So I thank you all for being part of this family. Say God bless you all. Thank you. And good night.
Good night.
Good night.